Big news, a pivotal section of Queens, New York, home to more than 650,000 people, woke up today with a Republican congressman for the first time since the Roaring '20s. Bob Turner, who initially was thought to be very, very long shot in this race, ended up defeating the Democrat Mark Weprin in a special election to fill Congressman Anthony Weiner's empty seat in that district. So Republicans are touting this as a referendum on President Obama's policies, saying that it is a preview, they believe, of what's to come in next year's presidential election. So let's talk with Texas Congressman Pete Sessions, chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee. That's the committee that works to elect Republican congressmen. So this would be a red letter day for you, sir.
Big day. Two victories, two races, two victories. The NRCC is very happy, and our Republican colleagues in the House welcome our two new members, what will be members of Congress, Bob Turner and Mark Amodei from Nevada.
Yeah, I mean, this is a shocking change for this district in New York, which, as we said, has just steadfastly elected Democrats since the 1920s. It also has a very large Orthodox Jewish population, and Mr. Weprin is of that faith. So for them to not elect him in this district that is heavily Democratic, I mean, I don't think you can underestimate what a sea change kind of election this is. But is this, were they fed up with Anthony Weiner and everything that happened? How good is your argument that there is a larger ramification here and indication for the future?
Well, the indication that we have that's very clear is that the president's policies not only are not working, but also in this 9th Congressional District of New York and others across the country, including Nevada, the president has very high negatives because of his inability of his policies to create jobs and opportunities for the American people. And this was very apparent. The president had negative ratings of up to 60%. And when a president carries this kind of baggage into these kinds of special elections, it reverberates all across the country. It means that the playbook that the Democrats were counting on for 2012, they're going to have to reconstruct now. Jobs and job creation is the issue of this country, and the president has failed the American people on that issue.
Well, that may be a very significant factor here. It's also interesting to note, just going back to this issue of religion, because Dan Senor wrote a piece, Why Obama is Losing the Jewish Vote. And in it, he says that he thinks that this is the first electoral outcome that is directly affected by President Obama's Israel policy. And he goes on to outline what has been documented as a declining effort in terms of Jewish fundraising for President Obama, in terms of those who say that they will recommit to the donations that they made the last time around. And he also outlines a pretty aggressive effort that he claims is going on in the White House to regain that vote. So, of course, that raises a lot of questions about other places as well where there's a large Jewish population, like the state of Florida, extremely important in the 2012 election. What do you think about all that?
Well, certainly the pro-Israel and Jewish community has been listening to the Republican Party, not only about the way that we should treat Israel as one of our closest friends, but also what's in the best interest of our foreign policy as we move forward. And strengthenability with Israel means that America should stand with not only an ally like Israel, but that we need to make sure that as we are speaking about them, that we never put them at risk. You and I both recognize the president's foreign policy has not been of such a way that Israel understood where they stood with the United States, and it's created a question around the world about what would America do in the event that there was some bit of compromise. America should stand behind Israel, and this is where the Republican Party is, and the president and the Democrats are not there on that point.
All right. Well, there's more to this story to come, and we'll look closer at the situation in Florida and if Dan Senor is right about the meaning of this election. And Pete Sessions, we thank you for weighing in with your thoughts about the meaning of this election. Very big day in New York 9. Thank you, sir. Good to see you as always.
All right. It is one of the biggest potential terrorist targets in America. Billions